This video I will cover how to separate or why you should separate out your to-do list.js into multiple files. Okay, so as the file content grows, you eventually want to separate them out into something that's more manageable. Right now the file itself is pretty small, it's 65 lines of code. But as a general good practice, what I usually do is each file basically contains one specific thing. It could be one controller, it could be one directive, could be one module, but generally I just keep one file per module, per class, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so what we want to do now is first I'm going to pull out this module. So I copy it and to do dot module. And generally you want to separate out the module by itself, and right now it's not too important, but later on you will need it, because when you use some kind of JavaScript automated task runner, you can specify I want all the modules first and then all the JavaScripts that require those modules. Okay, so when you do that, just make sure you only declare your to-do app one time. In this case, I'm going to do dot controller. Okay, like I said, you only want to make sure you only declare your to-do app one time, and this syntax is declaration or assignment. So by removing the brackets, you're basically getting this to-do app. Okay. So the last one will just be, let me see, to-do dot on enter. Remove the brackets, remove the controller, and you're left with just that. Okay, so whenever you do that, you have to make sure your script includes are up to date. And in Angular, you have to make sure the module needs to go first before the dependencies that uses the module. Okay. Okay, still works. So another thing I want to mention is whenever you create a JavaScript or any kind of file, you want to make sure your code is wrapped inside of an IIFE. Okay, the reason why you want to wrap your code inside an IIFE is to avoid global namespace collisions. So imagine you have this file with a variable hello equals 5, and then in the next file you're doing something like when you run this, hello is 10 because the second file overrode the value for the first file, and the order of overriding is the order of the files getting included. But if you wrap everything inside of an IIFE, then you're not creating global global variables, and you won't be running into that issue. And when you create an IIFE, or for any file, make sure you're using use strict. So this puts the JavaScript into strict mode. Okay. So basically what strict mode does is basically put some constraints on your JavaScript. So these common constraints basically here to help you. So a lot of times when you use a variable that's not defined yet, it will basically not allow you to do it. Let's say, so in this case, it tells you foo is not defined. If you don't have the strict mode, then the browser just basically doesn't really care. But with strict mode, basically does some of these compile time checkings for you automatically. So make sure you're using an IIFE, and make sure you're using strict mode. Wrap every one of your files with an IIFE. Okay. Let's make sure everything is still running smoothly. Okay, great. And that's the video.